Hello children, do you know what is so special about today? Today is the first day of your 8th standard. Do you know who I am? I am Pradnya and I am going to be your teacher. Do you like music, listening to stories and playing games? If yes, hop into this magical world of English with me. Now, I will read out a few words. You need to listen to me carefully. And when we read the poem, try to find these words in the poem. Bus, bus, bus. Musky, musky, musky. Pine, pine, pine. Captain, captain, captain. Scrub, scrub. Before we move to the poem, I would like you to see a video.
Importance of positivity. School is tough these days. We have so many things to do and so much to achieve. A lot of people have expectations from us. Our parents, teachers, relatives, and many others. They all want the best for us. But sometimes it becomes difficult. In times like these, having a positive attitude is very important. Being positive helps us achieve our goals. If we are positive in our minds, we are able to make better decisions. When we have a positive attitude, we start speaking up. This means that when we are positive in our head, we can ask for advice from our parents and teachers. Talking to someone always helps us, and this can help us come out of any problem. Positivity also helps in improving our health. When we have negative thoughts, it also affects our body. If we have a positive outlook towards life, we are able to manage our mental health and tackle our problems with a smile on our faces. We should never compare ourselves with others. When we start comparing ourselves with others, we get negative thoughts. Instead, we need to be thankful for what we have. Positivity also helps us in boosting our confidence. We start taking risks and trying new things in classroom, and this helps us grow as a person. To sum it up, we need to believe in ourselves, and that will only be possible when we focus on all the good that is on our life and appreciate it. When things go wrong, it is very easy to forget about all the wonderful things in life. But if we practice gratitude, we will have a lot more faith in ourselves.
Wasn't it an amazing video? This video talks about the power of positivity. Have you ever won a competition? I once had won a spelling bee competition, and when I won this competition, I was very happy. When we win something, we feel happy because winning makes us feel motivated and it helps us to work even more hard. क्या आप कभी कोई कंपटीशन जीते हो? जब हम कोई भी चीज में जीतते हैं तो हमारी हार्ड वर्क करने की क्षमता और भी बढ़ जाती है. Have you ever failed at something? I am sure most of us have failed at least at one thing in life. It could be anything. It could be our exams, it could be sports. We all have had our share of failure. Can you tell me, how does it feel when we don't get success? I know most of us feel sad. We work very hard and we give our best. But if we don't get success, we feel disappointed. But do you think that it is necessary to be disappointed all the time? No. If we stay disappointed all the time, we cannot remain positive. And if we don't remain positive, it will block our thinking process, right? So, whatever we do, we should try to do it the best and we should try to always give our best shot. क्या आपने कभी फेलियर एक्सपीरियंस किया है? हम सब ने अपने लाइफ में कभी ना कभी फेलियर एक्सपीरियंस किया होगा. पर क्या आपको लगता है कि इस वजह से हमें अपना बेस्ट एफर्ट्स नहीं डालना चाहिए? नहीं, हम ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि अगर हम अपने फेलियर के बारे में सोचते रहे तो हमारे दिमाग में नेगेटिव थॉट्स आएंगे और अगर हमारे दिमाग में नेगेटिव थॉट्स आए तो हम अपना बेस्ट कभी नहीं दे पाएंगे. तो इस वजह से हमें हमेशा अपना बेस्ट देना चाहिए. The poem that we are going to read today is also about positivity. Here, the poet talks about why it is important to be positive all the time. The name of the poem is Be the Best, and this poem is written by Douglas Malloch. Now, I would request you to please open page number 2 of your textbook. I will read this poem and I would request you to point at the words as I read them. And if you don't have a textbook, listen to me carefully. Be the best. If you can't be a pine on top of the hill, be a scrub in the valley, but be the best little scrub by the side of the rill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a bush, be a bit of the grass. And some highway happier make. If you are a muskie, then just be a bass. But the liveliest bass in the lake. We can't all be captains. We have got to be crew. There is something for all of us here. There's big work to do and there's lesser to do. And the task you must do is the near. If you can't be a highway, then just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. It isn't by the size that you win or fail. Be the best of whatever you are. The poet tells us that we should be the best in whatever we do. There is no work that is less important, and we need not be ashamed of what we are. We all dream of doing great deeds and we all want to be at the top. But what really matters is the contribution we make to the society to make it count. We must take pride in our job and accomplish it with our best effort. ये पैराग्राफ में कवि कहना चाहते हैं कि हम कोई भी काम को छोटा या बड़ा नहीं समझ सकते और हम जो भी काम करें हमें उस काम में अपना बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस देना चाहिए. There is a headmaster and some teachers. Let us say 15 teachers. Do you think these teachers are less important than the headmaster of the school? Of course not, because each and every teacher is putting the same efforts in his or her subject. The final aim of all the students, teachers and headmasters is to make our school number one school of the city or state. यहाँ कवि कहना चाहते हैं कि कोई भी काम सक्सेसफुली करने के लिए सबको साथ में काम करना होगा. He portrays that smaller objects in nature draw our attention just like the big ones. Smaller or bigger contributions as they make surroundings beautiful. So your designation, size, power, age, nothing matters. What matters the most is to take efforts and be the best in that work. यहाँ कवि कह रहे हैं कि हमारा योगदान छोटा या बड़ा भी हो सकता है, पर उस बात से हमें कभी चिंतित नहीं होना चाहिए. हम जो भी कार्य कर रहे हो उसमें हमारा बेस्ट देना चाहिए. I hope this poem motivates you and you enjoyed it. Wasn't it a motivational poem? I am sure you enjoyed it. Now, let's do an activity. For this activity, you will see the image of the poem on the screen. What you need to do is find out rhyming words from the poem. This poem has 4 stanzas and each stanza has 4 lines. And this poem is following the ABAB scheme. Do you know what ABAB rhyming scheme is? In ABAB rhyming scheme, you will have words from alternate lines which rhyme. For example, in the first stanza, you will see that the words rill and hill rhyme, and these words are from alternate lines. So this style of rhyming words is known as ABAB rhyming scheme. Now, let's try to find out more such rhyming words. The first one is hill, rill. The second one is bee, tree. The third one is make, lake. The fourth one is grass, bass. The fifth one is here, near. The sixth one is trail, fail. And the last one is star, R. I hope you enjoyed this activity. Now, let's do another activity. For this activity, you will see a passage on the screen. You have to look at the passage and fill in the empty spaces from the passage. Now, how will we do that? Above the passage, you will see a small box which has words in it. You need to use these words to fill in the blanks. अभी हम एक एक्टिविटी करेंगे. इस एक्टिविटी में आपको आपके स्क्रीन पर एक पैसेज दिखाई देगा. इस पैसेज में कुछ जगहें खाली है. आपको इन जगहों को भरना है. ये जगह भरने के लिए आपको पैसेज के ऊपर एक बॉक्स दिखेगा. इस बॉक्स में कुछ शब्द दिए गए हैं. आपको इन शब्दों का उपयोग करके ये ब्लैंक्स भरने होंगे. लेट्स गिव इट अ ट्राई. As a group of frogs was traveling through the dash, two of them fell into a deep pit. So here the answer is woods. So the sentence would be, as a group of frogs was traveling through the woods, two of them fell into a pit. When the other frogs dash around the pit and saw how deep it was, they told the other two frogs that there was no dash left for them. Here the answers are crowded and hope. Here the sentence would be, when the other frogs crowded around the pit and saw how deep it was, they told the other two frogs that there was no hope left for them. However, the two frogs decided to dash what the others were saying, and they proceeded to try and jump out of the pit. Here the answer is ignore. So the sentence would read as, however, the two frogs decided to ignore what the others were saying, and they proceeded to try and jump out of the pit. Despite their dash, the group of frogs at the top of the pit were still saying that they should just give up, that they would never make it out. Here the answer is efforts. So the sentence would read as, despite their efforts, the group of frogs at the top of the pit were still saying that they should just give up, that they would never make it out. Eventually, one of the frogs took heed to what the others were saying, and he gave up falling down to his death. The other frog dashed to jump as hard as he could. Again, the crowd of frogs yelled at him to stop the pain and just die. Here, the blank word would be continued. So the sentence would read as, eventually, one of the frogs took heed to what the others were saying, and he gave up, falling down to his death. The other frog continued to jump as hard as he could. Again, the crowd of frogs yelled at him to stop the pain and just die. He jumped even harder and finally made it out. When he got out, the other frogs said, "Did you not dash us?" Here, the answer is here. So the sentence would read out as, he jumped even harder and finally made it out. When he got out, the other fox said, "Did you not hear us?" The fox explained to them that he was deaf. He thought that they were encouraging him the entire time. The moral of the story is people's words can have a big effect on others' life, which is why we should always think before we speak. Children, do you know where our ancestors used to live? Our ancestors used to live in forest or in caves. Have you seen a lion who lives in a house like ours? No, a lion lives in the forest. And just like lions, we also used to live in forest. But after a while, man started evolving and we started building our own houses. This story is about two brothers who also wanted to build their own house, and they get help from a few people. Let's find out who these people are. The name of the story is The First House, and it's written by Nabanita Deshmukh. The first house was built many years ago in the faraway land of the east, and this house was built by two friends, and their names were Kindru Lalim and Kincha Lalidam. One day, Kindru Lalim thought that they should build a house together. So, he asked Kinchu as to what did he think, and Kinchu thought that this was an excellent idea. Both of them decided that they will ask their other friends as to how they could build a house. बहुत साल पहले किंद्रू लालिम और किंचा लालीदम नाम के दो दोस्तों ने दुनिया का सबसे पहला घर बांधा. Both the friends left their caves and entered the forest. They met an elephant there, and the elephant told them to cut down trees and make logs, and these logs should be as strong as the elephant. After the two friends were done with chopping down trees, there slithered a snake, and the snake told them that they should find poles which are as long and as thin as a snake. In order to find these poles, both the friends entered a bamboo grove. When both the friends were returning from the bamboo grove, they saw a Mithun and they asked the Mithun for her advice. The Mithun told them that they should use cross poles to make their roofs. Now, both the friends started using the bamboos and creating cross poles. But soon they got tired. They put their bamboos down and went to the river to drink water. When they went to the river, they met a fish, and this fish also had some advice for both of them. The fish told them that they should collect as many leaves as possible and pile them up on top of each other because this would help them protect their house in sun and rain. Now, both the friends had a lot of advice on building the house. They were soon enough able to build a house. And when they were done building the house, they invited all their forest friends to their home. When the animals saw this house, they were very happy that they were able to help their friends. I hope you enjoyed this story. Now, for homework, I would request you to write down 10 qualities that are good about yourself and write down 10 qualities that you would like to possess. Now, on that note, I would like to end this session. I hope you had fun and I will see you in our next session. Until then, take care and stay safe. Bye.